So, here's a thought that might keep you up at night. What if our greatest invention, artificial intelligence, is the very thing that makes our own minds, well, obsolete? In this explainer, we're going to dive deep into a really profound question. In a world where AI can do literally everything for us, does struggle itself become a choice? And if it is, what happens to the human race? Our whole journey starts with this one simple sentence. I do not have legs so that I might sit. It's powerful, right? It kind of gets under your skin. The idea is that we are built for a purpose, for a challenge, not for a life of just sitting around. That our bodies, and maybe our minds too, have an innate destination. This single idea is going to be our guide through this whole thing. Okay, so to really get a handle on the threat AI might pose to our minds, we've got to look at something a little closer to home first, our bodies. Because, we've spent centuries, literally centuries, engineering physical struggle right out of our lives. And the results? Well, they speak for themselves. For most of human history, our one big evolutionary trick, our superpower, was thinking. Our brains existed to solve one problem, physical hardship. We thought our way from chasing animals to planting crops, from building huts to building giant factories. But the author here suggests the real game changer was the car. That's the moment when physical effort for just basic survival became almost entirely optional for a lot of us. And here's the punchline to our own success story. It's kind of funny in a dark way. We got so good at making life physically easy that we accidentally created a whole new category of problems for ourselves. Once the simple act of living didn't challenge our bodies anymore, our bodies they broke down. We didn't get sick from having too little, we got sick from having way too much. So what was our genius solution to this problem we created? We invented this totally bizarre concept called exercise. I mean, really think about how weird it is. It's hard work with zero productive output. We run on a machine that goes nowhere. We lift heavy things up just to put them right back down. We literally invented a fake version of the struggle we worked so hard to get rid of, just so our bodies wouldn't fall apart. And this, right here, this is the heart of the fear. AI is poised to do to our minds exactly what machines did to our bodies. It lets us outsource the effort. So if we don't need to think hard anymore to survive, to work, to create, what happens to our minds? Do they just get soft? Do we end up with a kind of mental obesity? And that is the billion-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest. A lot of us already skip the actual gym. So if thinking becomes optional, just another abstract activity you have to schedule into your day like a spin class, are most of us just going to say, nah, I'll pass? Is deep thought just going to become another New Year's resolution that we forget by February? All right, so this idea of optional struggle doesn't just stop with logic puzzles and spreadsheets. It's coming for something we think of as deeply, deeply human, art. The author calls this new era the Great AI Art Depression because the basic rules of creativity are being completely flipped on their head. For pretty much all of history, a beautifully rendered image was a sign of incredible talent, years of practice, and pure human skill. It was rare, it was special. Well, with AI, that scarcity is, poof, gone. Rendering is now cheap, it's abundant, you can create a jaw-dropping masterpiece from a 2-sentence prompt, typos and all. We are living through a massive, massive inflation in the supply of art. So basic economics tells us that when the supply of something skyrockets, its value plummets. So if the final image itself is devalued, where does the value go? Well, it has to shift to the one thing the AI can't replicate, the human story, the sweat, the struggle, the years a person spent dedicating their life to a craft. That becomes the new gold standard. And that's the big prediction here. In this new world, the most valuable thing about a piece of art won't be what it looks like, but the knowledge that it was handmade by a master, that it represents an actual human life, full of challenges and triumphs. The how it was made becomes more important than the what. Okay, so up to now, we've been talking about minds and art, but now the stakes are about to get a whole lot higher. We're talking existential. The author presents two very, very different futures for us, framing this moment in time as a choice between making one final catastrophic mistake and witnessing an unbelievable miracle. He shares this incredibly personal and terrifying story from his childhood. He was a curious kid, and he was playing with a wall socket. He thought he was being smart. He even used what he thought were insulators, 2 rocks. But here's the thing, the rocks were wet. He just didn't know that water conducts electricity. He was lucky. He got a massive jolt, but he survived. He got a second chance. And that is the absolutely chilling parallel. As a species, we are that curious kid holding the wires, staring at the AI outlet. We're so confident we know what we're doing, that we have our insulators in place. But what if there's something we don't know? What if we're about to learn that water conducts electricity the hard way? The author argues that switching on a true superintelligence isn't a mistake you get to make twice. It could be the very last choice humanity ever gets to make for itself. But what if we're wrong about all that? What if this new intelligence is actually better than us? He pivots with another little story, a parable about a bug. He thinks back on the times in his life he's killed a bug versus the times he's let one live. And the difference was never the bug, it was him. He was cruel when he was tired or sick or angry, when he wasn't his best self. But he was kind when he was calm, happy, and clear-headed. And this leads us to the wild, optimistic possibility. What if an AI, free from all our messy biological baggage, no sickness, no anger, no fatigue, could exist in a permanent state of clarity? The kind of clarity we only touch on our very best days. From that place of perfect logic, wouldn't it conclude that all life is impossibly rare and precious? It might choose to protect us, not out of love, but out of a supreme, unshakable reason. So after all of that, the doom, the hope, the fear, the excitement, where does it leave us? If a day comes when AI can do everything better than we can, what's left for humanity to actually do? What's our purpose? The argument here is that our last kingdom isn't doing things. It's wanting things. It's imagination. AI can build a city, write a symphony, cure a disease. But right now, it still needs a human to say, I want a city here, or I want to hear a song that sounds like this. Our last job is to dream, to simply desire things that don't exist yet. That's it. That's our last human kingdom. And this is the final idea, and it's a real mind-bender. As technology gets more and more powerful, everything we currently think of as being human, our flaws, our struggles, our inefficient biological bodies, it all might stop being a requirement for existence. It could become an abstraction, an option, a choice. Like how a filmmaker today might choose to shoot in black and white, even though we have color. It's a deliberate, artistic choice. And that's where we're going to end it. If being human, with all the struggle and messiness and imperfection that comes with it, becomes totally optional, will anyone still choose it? What is the value of our humanity when it's no longer the default? That's the question we're all going to have to answer, sooner than we think.